And Chuck McKinney from Reds Army here on FanCred. We got like a second left in the third quarter with the Celtics up a couple on Denver at TD Garden. The return of Isaiah Thomas, the king of the fourth, as we head to the fourth quarter. You want to get, little breakdown for the C's there at the end of the quarter. You want to get in touch, upper right-hand corner of your screen is the fan line. That's how you can talk to myself and Chuck McKinney. Chuck, we were talking about this a little bit before we started here. You've been a little underwhelmed by the atmosphere, or at least the energy, out of these two teams tonight.
Yeah, real quick, I think you're a few seconds behind on your DVR because I saw that you might want to check it because I feel like you reacted to that play a few seconds
after. Oh, so I might be behind.
So check
Give me a second. I'll be right back. Hang on.
But anyway, what I was saying was, yes, this doesn't. I mean, these are two strong teams. The Nuggets, number 2 team in the West. This is a big time matchup, and aside from the energy that we saw from built around Isaiah Thomas, there hasn't really been there just isn't a lot of energy in the building for the game itself. I mean, we had the Thomas moment and the pregame stuff, but I'm just not seeing it with the players either. It just doesn't seem like this big time matchup. So I was feeling somewhat confident that the Celtics could pull out a win tonight. It's 80-80. Here we are, and I still feel like if they just piece together some strong defense here in this quarter, they can take this. So I'm looking for a couple smart plays to kind of propel them, but they've had Horford going. Kyrie's awake now. Morris has been somewhat solid. If we can get a little something from Tatum, I think we can steal this win.
Yeah, look, and they're kind of waiting for Tatum, as you mentioned. Jaylen Brown, who's been super consistent for this team, hasn't done much in this game yet, but you hit on it. I mean, it's been a lot of Irving of late and a lot of Al Horford early. That's kind of how they've done it in this game so far. The story of the night, and you mentioned it, Isaiah Thomas, his video tribute, which was emotional, and I thought a good moment. I mean, I was always an Isaiah guy while he was here, from when he got traded to when he got traded out of town, and I thought he got a raw deal on the way out of here, but I got it. I mean, I think everybody makes that deal. He did not look good tonight. I think it's safe to say he did not look impressive.
Yeah, he looks like a guy who hasn't played much. He's just lacking that explosiveness. He just looks rusty, and I think when you go back and look at how much he's played and what he's endured over the last couple of years, that seems reasonable. If he can just stay healthy and then work towards coming back, for next year, I think maybe we can see more of the player he used to be, which kind of sucks because I wanted to see him out there making some plays tonight. But it was a good moment. I think last year, or was it the year before? I can't even, it's all a blur.
No, last year, yeah. The
whole tribute, controversy with Paul Pierce and all that, it just took away from everything. It's like, we love the guy. We wanted to come back and cheer him on, and we finally got to do that.
Yeah. So look, I mean, again, there were as a card-carrying member of Team Isaiah, there were some moments where he could be a little hard to identify with and get on board with. The whole video tribute thing actually was tough, but tonight, good moment for Isaiah, good moment for the Celtics. I'm surprised Malone played him. As the Celtics have, they had a bad finish of the third quarter, which apparently I was way behind on. Now Denver on a little bit of a run. They're up 84-80 on the Celtics here. Again, you want to get in touch with myself, Adam Jones, and Chuck McKinney from Reds Army. Upper right-hand corner of your screen is the fan line. That's the best way to do it. Of course, you can chat along as well here on Fourth Quarter Live. Were you surprised Malone actually played Isaiah for the first time in the last
we had heard that he wasn't playing well. He'd fallen out of the rotation. But clearly Malone caved to the moment. He likes Isaiah. He definitely caved to the moment. He played him for a couple minutes. I think it proved to be relatively harmless. But I think if this was the Nuggets were playing in Brooklyn tonight, he wouldn't have played.
No, I mean, I would agree with that. And Brad's had a quicker trigger with timeouts tonight, right? Does it seem like he's been calling some timeouts a little quicker?
You know what? I haven't noticed, but that could be a good point. I mean, I get on when he does it.
That was a quick one, and I like it. Denver's going on a run. It's at least 8-0, right? They got the last two at the end of the quarter to tie it up, and then they just got 6 straight. So look, you got to keep this thing close, I would imagine. Based on the way he's managing it. So anyway, Celtics are down 6. We mentioned the fan line, upper right-hand corner of your screen. Sometimes I got to beg in the upper right-hand corner of the screen for some fan line action. But the great state of Vermont never lets me down. Let's go to Robbie up in Vermont on the fan line. You're on Fourth Quarter Live. What's going on, Robbie? Robbie. There he is. What's up, Robbie?
Great state of Vermont, never let you down. Go Cats, go. 13 seed. So I'm wondering, we know what the Celtics are capable of when they're actually playing to their potential, but are they able to act? I don't know if they're going to actually be able to make any sort of run of the playoffs. I was wondering what your guys' take on this. I think they have a chance to beat the Sixers just because they're soft. But
they should be Philly, right? They should be Philly. They match up so well with Philly.
And the Sixers are soft, but can they get past anyone but that?
I'm not sold, and I've been saying this too. I mean, I think it seems like the public, the fans have kind of shifted since the West Coast. It was kumbaya, plane ride, everything's better. But just that Hawks game, to me, they won, but it was still so bad that I just don't see enough consistency to make me think, yeah, we're going to go into a playoff series, any playoff series, and win. I would like to think that they could beat Philly, but I still think that's kind of up in the air. Anything after that, I don't know how any kind of reasonable fan could feel confident about what we're seeing from this team going into the playoffs. For me, it's just not there.
Robbie, are you Team Isaiah?
I'm not. I do not think he deserved a video tribute after.
You didn't think he deserved a tribute?
I think he had a touching short run here, but he was only here a couple of years. It's not worth a video tribute.
All right. Well, Robbie in Vermont, we appreciate it. There's more action in the fan line if you want to react to Robbie's take that he does not deserve a video tribute. I mean, Chuck, you would know this. I said this on the radio today. I mean, the Celtics give out video tributes to the Kelly Olynyk's of the world. Like, he's going to get a video tribute.
Yeah, I mean, I thought there was no doubt that Isaiah was going to get a tribute. And I thought it was warranted. I mean, you could – look, there's been so much debate over video tributes now. I just feel like it's over the top. But yeah, he was here a short period of time, but his season was fantastic. It was one of the best we've seen. So I think it was.
Do you think Isaiah's year, what was it, 2017, 2 years ago? Do you think that was better than any individual Paul Pierce season? Not to say he's better than Paul Pierce, obviously, but do you think that was better than any individual Paul Pierce season? I mean, second team All NBA, he was getting MVP votes. Yeah,
individual. Yeah. If you want to look at it that way, you could say that, But I would say anything we saw from Pierce from like 2008 to 2012, I would say that was just bigger than Isaiah. It was just, I feel like the stakes were raised for me. I don't know. I guess the Celtics were still that little engine that could when Pierce was playing with the big boys. It was just a different level of basketball for me.
Yeah, and he had to share the ball. I mean, Isaiah, that team was all Isaiah, obviously. So
yeah,
Smart
he could do whatever he wanted.
Yeah. So Smart hits a nice layup after Denver hit on a 3. So the lead got up to 9. It's back down to 7 with 9 minutes to go. More action on the fan line. Let's head back out. Upper right-hand corner of your screen, if you want to jump in line, you can do that. Just like Jeremy in Sheldon, Mass. He is next up here on Fourth Quarter Live on the fan line with Adam Jones and Chuck McKenney. What's up, Jeremy?
Hey, how's it going?
We're doing good.
So, Chuck knows I've been complaining about Jason Tatum on Twitter for like a month now. I'm going to bring it on here. He's seen it. So Tatum has this habit, right? Catch the ball, fake for no reason, defender closes in, then tries to shoot the ball. Yep. It never goes in. It's been driving me insane. And basically, I've had like 5 angry tweets about it for the past month, and I just don't get it.
So why don't you take it, Chuck?
I have a lot of frustration with Tatum too. Offensive fouls,
that's all right. That's all right.
But I've seen some of the pump fake action tonight. For me, it's the drives to the basket where nothing happens, where he loses the ball off of his hip, or he's just fumbling it. There's just a lot of frustration with him. I feel like he's still kind of treading water this year. He's just not surging. I thought after maybe a mediocre start, he would propel in the second half. I still haven't seen it. I mean, he's just flatlining, I think.
Yeah, he's 3 for 12 tonight. I don't know. He's been a bit of a tough watch of late, and so it's been talked about a lot. We've talked about it before, Chuck. You wonder about the Kobe influence is something that's been a popular debate point of topic as Marcus Smart misses a layup. Celtics get a loose ball back. Marcus Smart misses another layup.
What are you doing? What is
maybe let someone else shoot, Marcus. So Jeremy, I want to ask, and I want to ask everybody who's on the fan line tonight. You team Isaiah or you team anti-Isaiah? I know there's still a lot of anti-Isaiah sentiment out there, which surprises me.
Dude, I would rob a bank for Isaiah. I would rob a bank with Isaiah. I'll drive the car. I'll hold the gun. Whatever. I'm all for it. Dude, you could play these layups. I could. My stream's a little behind you guys. Dude, I love that guy. You can play Isaiah highlights for the entire game. I'd be fine with it.
All right, well, Jeremy, we appreciate it. We appreciate it on the fan line. Your guy Horford's been huge.
Oh, he's been fantastic. And I didn't, you hear so much about Jokic being talented right offensively, but man, he is really slow to get around on the defensive end, and Horford's really made him pay. But
does he look out of shape to you, Jokic?
He doesn't look. I was thinking that, like,
he looks a little doughy to me.
He does. I'm with you on that. Yeah.
I mean, I'm just like clinging to anything I can to try to make myself look better for that Jokic take from years ago. So I mean, it's he's obviously an amazing offensive player. I think there's a lot of Horford in his game, to be honest. I think you were just starting to draw that parallel. Like, he's a great passing big man. He can shoot it a little bit as he makes that one. So like, I mean, he is a highly skilled big that I think is has some similarities to Horford offensively. Horford's obviously much more athletic and much better at the defensive end than Jokic is. But he looks a little, like I said, a little doughy to me. Just a little out of shape is all I would say about my guy Jokic there. Meanwhile, say it again.
What's your hot take on him? On Jokic?
Oh, so if you haven't heard this, it's one of my best / worst. Back when the Jaylen Brown pick that year, when I was at the Garden booing Jaylen Brown, booing Wick, I was there for that as well. That also wasn't my strongest take. I read, because you remember they were linked to all kinds of guys in that draft. Jimmy Butler, like Boogie. I'm trying to remember who else. Like a bunch of players. And finally, I freaked out. There was a rumor from, I don't even remember who, where they're like, if the Celtics can't get a big name, they should go for Jokic or Nurkic in Denver. And I'm like, well, if they're thinking about trading the third pick for these two stiffs, like, what are we talking about? And Jokic just turned into, like an MVP candidate. He's probably going to hit this three in my face. He did. So, like, I mean, it was a bad take. What are you going to do? You can't win them all, Chuck. I learned that a long time ago. You can't win them all. Meanwhile, it is back to
this is bad. I mean,
I ask you this a lot. I mean, are we in dangerous territory yet? There's still 5.5 minutes to go. Although Kyrie is, what is that? On the floor?
Shooting?
I think it's just the way he's reacting. It looks like they called it on the floor. I thought he was shooting. Let's see this again. I mean, it's wild for sure.
I thought it was early. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean, we got a couple minutes to go here, but let's not let it get any deeper than 9 here, this hole. And then the Celtics, I think the shooting percentage has slipped like every quarter. So I'm not feeling too optimistic that they can shoot their way back into this. But it's that damn Denver pick and roll. It's like, can they just stop it?
Yeah. Kyrie with a little elbow jumper. So we're back to 7. The lead has been as high as 9 here in this second half for Denver. I'm being asked on the chat. Walsh wants to know if I am fat shaming right now. That's basically what I was doing for Jokic. Yes, I was pretty much fat shaming him. He's a little pudgy, and I wonder if that's going to last. That's basically what I've resorted to when it comes to trying to poke holes in Jokic's game. Meanwhile, we got more action on the fan line. It is our buddy from the radio side, and he's been calling us a lot here on Fourth Quarter Live, Josh in Haverhill. Next up here with Adam Jones and Chuck McKenney with the Celtics trailing here in the fourth quarter. Josh,
hey, Josh.
I'm curious how you're feeling about this game right now.
What's going on, boys?
How are you?
Good. I mean, the Nuggets. I've heard a lot of varying takes about them. That people aren't really even taking them as seriously as I think that they should be. I think that the depth on this Nuggets team is outstanding. I really give them a good chance of beating the Warriors in the Western Conference Finals. This doesn't surprise me that they've come out with this lead. It's 7, 4:50 left in the fourth. I think they're going to sustain it. And, just to get to, obviously the burning topic of the night, the little peanut, Isaiah, man. I love Isaiah. Yep. I'm not with Robbie in Vermont at all. I feel he definitely deserved that tribute. Just the stuff he did for this franchise, it was above and beyond, I feel. Nice. That's the way I feel about it.
Yeah. Josh,
you guys would you endorse if Kyrie walks? Would you endorse bringing him back next year?
And Josh, we appreciate it on the fan line. And if you want to get in touch on the fan line, you can. Upper right hand corner of the screen. We actually talked about this earlier. I said I would want. Let's see how this shakes out real quick before I answer that. Oh boy, Jokic. Anyway, I said earlier I would want or be interested in Isaiah.
Come on. Jesus, you can't be missing easy shots around the rim and then giving up those.
Yeah, so how many layups have they missed? We'll get back to Isaiah in a minute. How many layups have they missed? Smart missed those 2. Was that Horford and who else in close?
Horford
just missed a couple.
One, and then I think Morris dumped it off. I'm not sure if that was.
Yeah, so that's leaving some points out there for sure.
Yeah, and they got to get on the. They seem to be starting to give up offensive rebounds. Scrambling on defense. It's just these little things. They're all adding up. It's just it's pissing me off, as you can tell.
Yeah, well, rightfully so. Denver's up to now 13 threes in the game, 37%, as their lead is up to double digits. So, yeah, look, those missed layups are going to come back to bite, especially a couple of those in transition when you have a chance to keep it closer than a 2 or 3 possession game. So he brought up a lot of stuff, though, there, Chuck. We already addressed the Isaiah stuff. I'm fine with bringing Isaiah back next year if Kyrie leaves. You're interested in him either way. So we talked about that earlier. How seriously do you take the Nuggets? Because I am, despite a pretty good showing here tonight, I would consider myself not a believer that they're a true contender in the West.
Yeah, I think they're that regular season team, right? They're very talented offensively. We're watching them, but do you look at this team in a playoff series? They're untested, and who do you fear that's going to be taking over games with playoff defense? I just don't think they have. I think we've seen teams that are built like this, very even. Again, I always revert back to like the Hawks from a few years ago.
Yeah, that's actually a pretty good comp, to be honest. Right? They were young and they were balanced, and
they're just not. They just. Millsap isn't. He hasn't shown anything tonight, and I don't know if he's been much better the rest of the season than he has been tonight.
I think he actually, his numbers are down all year, but I think he had started to heat up coming into this game. But yeah, he has not been good tonight.
No. So they have guys who I don't really know too much about, and Harris is kind of like a good player trying to make the leap. Same goes for Murray. But if they were to, especially in the West, if they were to lose in the first round, I just don't feel it from them. I just don't know if they have that sort of killer instinct.
I just don't think the Warriors – I bet the Warriors don't take them seriously. I think Warriors take the Rockets seriously. I think they might even take the Thunder seriously. And I know they just whooped the Thunder without Durant the other night, but I don't know. I feel like they're not quite ready for prime time. But that said, they're putting a bit of a beat down on the Celtics here, up 10 with 4 to go. We've been taking your feedback on the fan line all night long. I got to be honest, great feedback on the fan line all night long. A lot of Team Isaiah out there. Let's go to Matthew in Newton. Wants to weigh in here on Fourth Quarter Live with Adam Jones and Chuck McKenney. About 4 minutes to go with the Celtics trailing by 10 against what is currently the number 2 team in the Western Conference. What's up, Matthew?
Horrible turnover.
I was just wondering what you guys think about Gordon Hayward. He's not playing tonight, and I thought he'd been playing a little better lately, and how that affects this team and if they're going to need him moving forward.
What do you think, Chuck?
Yeah, they're going to need him, but I don't expect anything. He's just been he's been cursed. It's just been, he started to play a little bit better. Then it was the ankle, and then he went into a funk, and then he started to come out of it. Now he's got the concussion. There's just too much. There's just too much bad luck. I just don't expect him to be able to flip the switch or be anything reliable in the playoffs.
Matthew, what do you think's gone wrong for them here in this fourth quarter?
I just think Denver are getting a lot of easy looks. They're getting out, and the Celtics aren't. The Celtics are missing layups. They're not getting out in transition. They're not getting any easy looks. I think that's something they struggle with all year. The offense always looks hard.
Yeah, so and we appreciate the feedback on the fan line, Matthew. I think that's actually a good way of putting it. And you've been on this with the pick and roll. The Nuggets are getting easier looks. They're not having to work as hard for looks. The Celtics are having to work at the offensive end. And then when they're getting it, they're blowing the layup.
Right.
So that's usually a recipe for disaster. And now offensive rebounds.
Right. There's one, it's a sloppy turnover, or it's a offensive rebound, or it's a weak defensive rotation.
Oh boy.
Someone's got to be open now. There it is.
Harris. Ooh. Okay. Grab the rebound. That's progress.
Let's go.
They got numbers. If Kyrie looks, they have numbers.
I thought Morris was having a good game, but that play right there, I think, sums up what really pisses me off about him.
Oh, we've talked about him before. That guy, he is not shy at all. He is not shy at all.
It's not a good shot there.
Oof.
Denver's trying to give this away now. Come on.
Yeah, that's a bad turnover by Jokic.
Go to the rim. Oh.
Yuck.
Yeah, that's great, right? Let's bypass attacking the basket.
He's got a big, slow, fat 7-footer on him, and he falls into the bench on a three. What are you doing? I mean, again, I've resorted to making fun of Jokic's weight now, but how you not? Oh, here we go, Jalen.
Look at there's no rhythm. They called a kick ball on that.
I mean,
shitting me.
Did he control it with his foot? I mean,
come on.
It's probably the right call. It's probably the right call, but a no call there, I don't think anyone would have batted an eye.
Right. Yeah. So there's another wasted possession, right? I mean,
but you're right. Denver's trying to give this away. Like that turnover by Jokic was brutal. Oh Jesus! Here you go. Here you go, Marcus. Just stick to the dunks, Marcus. No more layups.
Right? Yeah. Attack the basket. Denver wants the fade here. Come on. Don't make it easy on them.
So you've talked about the energy there in the building quite a bit, right? Or at least the energy out of the teams, I should say. It's hard to judge. We're not there. I don't know how much volume you're giving yourself on your TV over there, but it's a little hard to judge how loud the building is right now based on some of the defensive stops they're getting. I know that can usually lead to the Garden getting pretty loud. I'm curious to see if Denver can execute down the stretch. They're a team that I said I don't trust. I don't think I would trust them. Certainly in a series against Golden State. That's not an indictment on anyone. I don't trust anybody against Golden State. But like a real contender in the West, they should be able to settle now that the clock is stopped. They can talk things over in the timeout and execute. If they can't, I'm going to start believing in them even less if they keep turning it over like they have the last 3-4 possessions, whatever it's been.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, this is a good moment here, right? So you come out of the timeout. Whoever works the Jumbotron puts that noise meter thing on, right? So the crowd should be at a fever pitch here. The Celtics dig in. But unfortunately, because they've been so lazy for the last 2 minutes or sloppy, there's no margin for error.
No.
Here. So they almost have to get, a couple stops in a row.
Kyrie tends to be good in these situations. When they're down like 8 with like 2 minutes to go, he just takes every layup and he scores in like 5 seconds. If they get stops, he tends to be good because Denver's going to give him layups. Denver's going to try to stop the 3-ball here. Like Denver's going to give him layups, I'd imagine.
I hope so. That last possession, they were too happy to stay on the perimeter, but let's see.
It's true.
Oh, they're all.
By the way, it's no Tatum out there. Brown over Tatum. Okay, here we go.
Go. Oh God. Oh, that's terrible.
That's not a good shot. No, that's not a good shot. Jesus, that's no better.
Where's Tatum?
I mean, what do I know? I just said so. I was just saying at the other end of the floor, Brown's playing over Tatum. which I think defensively makes a lot of sense. Obviously, offensively, you'd like Tatum out there. I hated that shot from Kyrie. He made it, but that shot was terrible too.
Yeah. I allow him to take that more than Marcus for sure.
Yeah, that's true. That's fair.
Right? Oh! That's too easy.
Yeah. Barton's been good, by the way. I've actually been pretty impressed with Barton. I know the Celtics have been interested in him at deadlines before. He's looked good. Horford. Nothing. Okay. That might do it.
Right?
Yeah, that might do it.
This is what they come back with after that horrible Atlanta game. They come back and they lose this. And I don't know how you can feel good about this team. I just don't get
I argued on the radio today with Jim. He liked what he saw in the Atlanta game. Oh.
Liked what he saw. You know, that was another thing that Scalabrine was saying in the post game too. I think it was after it's like, so because they have the fortitude to kind of come back and win those games, it erases all the garbage that they do for 40 minutes. And I'm just like, not against crap teams. It shouldn't. You should still hold them accountable.
Yeah, you should not be blowing 25-point leads against the Hawks. I say that very confidently. That should not be happening. So, by the way, if Millsap makes this is their largest lead since the first quarter, I think, right? And so, I mean, the game's over. 31 seconds left. I didn't love their win against the Kings. I didn't love their win against the Hawks. How do we feel about this tonight? Is this chalking it up to a better team that comes into your building? How do we kind of look at this loss?
I mean, this is terrible. We've been home, right? I mean, we were home Saturday.
And you had a fourth quarter. Well, no, you were tied in the fourth quarter, right? Did they ever lead in the fourth quarter? I think they were only tied to start the quarter.
In this game?
Yeah. I don't think they ever led in the fourth.
This game was ripe for them to win. Denver had a lull there, and the Celtics just couldn't respond. They couldn't get it together. There's I don't see any sort of.
Okay. I mean, too little too late. Too little too late.
Too late.
It is.
Right?
It is. I mean,
people criticize me for being, down on this team, and I watch a game like this and I think, how the hell can you feel good about this team? I mean, we're supposed to win this game. It's a home team, right? We've been home for a few games.
It's not like they were never in it. I know they led late in the third. That was back when my DVR was still behind. I didn't even know. But they were leading late in the third. They gave up a bucket to end the third, and then they gave up a run to start the fourth, and they never seized control from there. But they were in it. Like, to start the fourth quarter, it was a tie game. So it's not like you were getting run out of the gym or something like that, or it's one of these games where they just never showed up. They were in this game, and they peed it away late because they can't make layups.
Yeah, it was bad, and I'm curious to see how they explain this away in the post game. Or, I mean, Brad will drop his usual quotes on, we have to be better. It's frustrating.
Yeah.
Blah blah blah. But it's just not enough consistency from enough players. Smart didn't impress me tonight. He made took a few. It only takes like a handful of bad shots or bad.
Well, their missed layups and their shot selection there at the end, all of that was bad.
Like the last 6 minutes, it was all questionable.
Yeah. So it looks like, again, I don't want to bury him early, but 14 seconds left in 2-possession game. This one feels over. Our next broadcast, by the way, will be Tuesday against the Cleveland Cavaliers. It'll be myself, Adam Jones, and Chuck McKinney from Reds Army back here on FanCred. Check FanCred, follow us on FanCred for all your updates here. But yeah, that'll be our next broadcast, Chuck, against the Cleveland Cavaliers. Slim pickings next week when it comes to games on the schedule. I'm with you. I mean, it's just, if you told me they lost to Denver and you just told me that before the game today, I'd be like, oh, okay. I mean, they already lost to Denver once. Like, Denver's a good team. I wouldn't call it a brutal loss. It wouldn't surprise me. The way they executed or failed to execute down the stretch, I think, is one thing that should stick in your craw as a Celtics fan, the way they've been playing.
Yeah, and there's the Denver that we see in the standings and we hear about, but then what we've said tonight, we've watched this Denver team. Right.
That's a good point too. And it's not like
we can beat this team.
Yeah, it's true. That is true.
Right? But we have guys fall.
And when Denver won last time, Chuck, Jamal Murray was going off for 48 points. So it's like, okay, I get it. It's a huge night out of Murray. That's not happening tonight. Yeah.
That's acceptable, right? A game like that. This is a home game where you've been here for a few days. There's no sorts of it's not no schedule impact, right? But we just didn't see much from a Horford and Kyrie. Outside of that, I'd have to check the box score to see. Smart made some defensive plays, but who else?
Outside of those two, I'm looking at it right now. Morris had 13. Smart had 10. And that's it. They have 4 guys in double figures. Denver has 7 in double figures. So Denver much more balanced and certainly deeper in this game tonight. But yeah, I'm with you. No one was overly impressive from them. Jokic was good. Millsap, I think did Millsap finish with a double-double? I think he did. After we said he didn't do anything, I think Millsap finished with a double-double. But still, I'm with you. I don't think he was overly impressive in the game tonight. Jokic was close to a triple-double, but I don't feel like he killed you either.
Denver did what, and that's what they do, right? They get like 6-7 guys in double figures at you, and there's just balance, and they execute. And look at this. That sums up this game right there.
Maybe that's why Brad likes Hayward inbounding. Maybe that's why he's obsessed with having Hayward inbound the basketball, because that was not great. That was as open as it gets. Anyway, looks like on my screen, Denver clinches a playoff spot for the first time since 2013. Celtics lose. They really could be on a 3-game losing streak, by the way, or I guess 4, going back to that Clippers game. They could have lost to the Kings. They certainly could have lost to Atlanta, blowing a 25-point lead. And then tonight they fall 114-105 in the return of Isaiah Thomas to TD Garden. Chuck, as I said earlier, we will talk on Tuesday. Celtics and Cavaliers. Celtics have a big one coming up, though, on Wednesday against Philly.
Yeah.
So nothing to overlook that. But we'll be back about 8 days from now here on Fourth Quarter Live. Have a great week, and hopefully the Celtics can figure things out by then.